I am. I love this little music. I want to change it, but I love this little music.
I do too.
Sometimes though, when I listen to it, I'll be like, I wanted to do something else. And then the beat drops, I'm like, okay, that's what
Exactly.
The beat drops.
This one is the best one I've heard. So I joined the Saints and Sinners gala very, very late. I don't know how I was not paying attention to the time at all.
I sat on my phone today and set an alarm so that it would go off at 3:28 because I didn't want nothing and nobody to make me forget that was the thing today.
Good. Then you can give us a full recap because unfortunately I was still on the clock, so I was in and out. But the few tidbits I caught were quite good.
I really hate that I didn't record it because I can't remember shit. I was so excited.
Queen Libra said that Sean saved it to live.
Oh, so if Sean saved it, then you can go back and watch it. A lot of times sometimes when they let stuff slip, they don't repost it. Like when Kimberlyn messed up about Finn and she slipped up on live, she didn't repost it because she didn't want people to catch it. But I'm like, baby, we watched you say it. We already caught it. So if he reposted it, I'm gonna go back and watch it again because I have to watch the show again today too because I had some issues at work and I didn't get to see all of Dealor in the doctor's office today. But I did get to see enough of it to take some pictures. I'm so excited.
Well, there was a really cute moment after Taylor discovered the deacon, was, her patient for the hour. And she tried to get rid of him by bringing up that she had just talked to Steffi's doctor and, I guess she wanted to be alone. And instead of him leaving, he literally went and took himself a seat and asked her, how's Steffi doing?
What I loved about it was her saying, well, you got to go because I got a patient coming right now. And he was like, oh, what's the patient's name? And she's like, I can't tell you that. He was like, well, he does not like you. I don't know anybody. And she was like, I'm a. And he's like, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. And she was like, how do you know? And he said, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. Child, I died because look, he made a cute little joke about they little time at Il Giardino's. I like that circle band.
Well, Deacon was certainly coming in hot because he came in talking about he couldn't stop thinking about her from yesterday.
Girl, I got choked.
I heard that.
Infatuated with Brooke. I almost fucking choked. He said infatuated.
Thank you.
He didn't say I've spent all this time being in love. He was like, I was just infatuated. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, I peeped that too, the downgrade of, remember, I had been saying all along that he didn't even rank as one of Brooke's greatest loves. Now he even downplaying it to an infatuation.
Well, but the thing is, it's the show's need to put Brooke in this area of every man that's ever been with her never forgets her. Because the thing is, it's not like Deacon didn't go on and have relationships with other women after LA and after her. He was with Macy. He was in Genoa City. He was with Nikki. Him and Phyllis had sex in the air. He made exactly on the dumpster. He was making. The point is, Deacon was making the rounds like it ain't no thing, and Brooke wasn't even on his mind until suddenly, I've always been in love with Brooke. It's always been Brooke. I'm like, what kind of shit are y'all people on?
That's what they did with Thorne.
It don't exactly, and it don't make no sense. They don't need to do that. That is why Dollar Bill is in the shape that he's in right now.
And that's why there's opposition to Dealor right now.
Exactly. Because nobody wants anybody to, and here's the thing, it's not that people have been involved with other people because everybody is somebody's leftovers on this show, with the exception of the brand new people. But just like
you just said, nobody else on this show has a history where no man can never get over them except for Brooke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ridge kind of is like the only person who has a reputation that's kind of second to that. That and the thing is, I don't even care about who these people were with before, but you can't have their past feelings from previous relationships being so overwhelming that the character is unparable with anybody else. That's ridiculous. And Bill was a straight up prime example of a good lead man who should have been matchable with damn near anybody on the canvas
Yeah.
if Beatty wasn't what they was gonna do. And look what they did to him.
Put him with Brooke, and that was the end of it. He can't be with nobody else now. Even when he want to go back to Katie, he be side eyeing Brooke like, damn.
If you was just available, I'd let you ride me into the sunset.
If only Katie's heart would give out.
Exactly, and that's why Beatty is now basically DOA. I know that we have a spoiler next week that's supposed to be about him giving Wyatt an update on Beatty, and the collective tag rolled their eyes. Don't nobody give a damn about Beatty's status at this point.
I think the status at this point is he's going to say that he has tried everything he can to get Katie back. And even though they're Will's parents, you know, they're not going to be back together. They'll be friends and raise Will. They'll co-parent and all that because they still friends and they still love each other. But he's going to just go ahead and give up on the relationship because it's not working. They not clicking. Katie really don't want it. She ain't feeling it. And he ain't trying to force her no more. He's just going to let her go on and live her life. And that opens him back up for whatever happens. Because if Ridge does decide he wants to flee Beverly Hills again, well, somebody's going to have to comfort old girl. Because these are just infatuated. And even if he ain't seriously dating Taylor, they just friends. They're still gonna set Ridge off enough where he gonna feel like he got to fly to Brookside, and now Bill is gonna fly to Brookside because don't nobody else want him.
Exactly. He has not yet anyway. He has not a single other romantic prospect in the city of LA with Don Diamont looking as fine as he is and his character being, well, Dollar Bill. Ridiculous.
Unless he finally gets Donna after all these years.
Oh,
and I doubt that would happen with him being so in love with Brooke. Like to finally, after all these years, finally get Donna's honey crusted cookie.
Hey, well, to be a hat trick, that's for damn sure. Oh, and hey, Renee, director of PR over there on YouTube.
Right, she's the director of PR and our YouTube. What's the word I'm looking for? She's our YouTube correspondent.
Okay, she's our YouTube correspondent. But I did thoroughly enjoy all aspects of the show today. I really did.
I did too, except for oh no, I guess I did like everything today. Brooke and Ridge were not on.
No, they weren't. I mean, Sheila and Finn, there's no question about that. I enjoyed Deacon and Taylor, and believe it or not, I actually enjoyed Quinn coming for Donna's neck like she should have.
Now she should have came harder for Donna's neck.
She should have.
She should have.
You know what?
That was a big disappointment for me.
I think she's just gonna prank Donna because that's who Quinn is. She's gonna be pranking Donna the way that Pam used to. Yeah, she's just gonna be pranking her and shit, like putting super glue in the honey bottle.
Oh, she can give her some of them damn herbs. Let her go drip honey with that.
Let both of them be farting together at home.
Right, that would be awesome, y'all. Oh my God, if Quinn put some of that Eric's bubble gut elixir hot sauce in the honey. But you know they make hot honey now, girl. That's a thing. They can't do it, but yeah, hot honey on hot chicken. That's a thing down here. Burn. Ooh, you trying to give somebody a yeast infection and what do men get? Clotted pee-pee holes? That Amaya's giving them all Amaya said burn his dick and her vagina.
Well, they both have issues that are centered with them being too preoccupied with those two things. So being out of commission might be good for them, at least for a while.
Could you imagine if Eric's ED really did, since him and Donna wasn't doing nothing but having sex anyway? Can you imagine if his ED came back for real this time, and he can't do shit but sit there and lay in the bed with Donna?
Yeah, because what needs to happen is that Eric needs to roll up on a conversation and hear Quinn telling Carter about her being in love with this sexy COO with the six pack, with this guy, all the stamina under the sun that wears her out. That's what Eric needs to hear for his little pee to go soft again.
Lord,
Because
Renee
real
said
sensitive like that.
a sticky prostate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what Eric need to roll up and hear how much better Quinn got it. Well,
Donna thought she was
now
doing
Quinn
something.
nailed it when she talked about Donna being a dumb secretary.
Girl, I was laughing at
She was right.
and she is right because listen, y'all already know how I feel. If
But you know what? Before you get too into that, I do want to give the show props for at least acknowledging that Donna is dumb. She's a stereotypical dumb blonde. Carry on.
With what she said, because honey, how I'm not gonna, it'd be one thing if Eric was Carter and you was having sex with him all the time. You might not be so concerned about what your occupation is. But if you gotta be out here being the mistress to this man, he almost 80 years old, and y'all gotta play honey games to get his Petey bird up. And he be breathing hard like he about to just from y'all having a pillow fight. I need some security. I'm gonna
Honey, please.
to give me
Y'all
some
know his little thing ain't finna go limp again because he ain't got no excitement in it no more. It ain't fun when the mistress is becoming the main chick now. So that little thing finna go right back to being.
That's right. That's the fact of the matter.
I will be cackling
once he
like
ain't
a witch.
sneaking around with his honey whore, there's no more excitement about it, especially when Quinn gonna have him by the balls because Quinn is still Mrs. Eric Forster.
Well, I think part of it too is she's just they want to rub it in Quinn's face because
It seems like everybody at Forster, right?
Exactly.
the entire
Exactly. That's supposed to be what's gonna kick it off. That's how it's gonna kick off. Exactly. That's what it is. It's all the rub in Quinn's face, and Quinn gonna show you don't gotta have a big thing to have big balls.
Yeah, because I'm being very amicable, as Wyatt was saying. I'm being amicable. I'm not showing my ass in here because you had an affair with my husband. And for the people who still don't understand, the whole point is Quinn was gone. She was out. She gave Eric his divorce. She signed the fucking papers. She said, deuces, all I want is my business. And I'm going to go on over here and live happily ever after with Carter. And Eric threw on the brakes and tore up the papers and begged her to stay and told her, we can work this out. I know we can work this out. And she said, well, fuck, okay, because, I still love my husband. I mean, I made a mistake. I really like Carter, too. But the only reason I was sleeping with Carter was because you weren't sleeping with me and making me feel like shit because I slept Brooke Logan until next week. Yes, I do blame Eric for this affair because he started this shit. So, no, I'm not going to be okay with people talking about that. You don't understand. What do you not understand? She was gone. She was out. The family was rid of Quinn once and for all.
And celebrating, too.
Right. And Eric sat there and acted like Liam did in Aspen. I don't want to end our marriage.
That's right.
Together. And she said, well, all right then, damn it, let's do it. And she went to Carter with tears in her eyes and said, my husband said he wants to work it out, and I still love him. And I mean, I got to work it out because I really want to stay with my husband. And so Carter said, okay. And she said, okay. And she didn't think about Carter no more after that. She didn't look at Carter. It was gone. She put it away, and she started to try to work on Eric and his little raggedy ass Petey bird that was pushing her off, and moved out into the guest house of all things. You went back to the house so you could go not even just sleep in a separate bedroom. But y'all know that house got at least 5 bedrooms because they had 4 kids in that house. Stephanie raised 4 kids, and her and Eric had their own bedroom too. You're not gonna tell me none of them kids shared a bedroom.
Okay.
What you saying? So that house got 5 bedrooms. He couldn't sleep in another bedroom. He had to get up and sleep in a different building.
And he did all this after tearing up the divorce papers that she had already signed.
Right.
And apparently we're all supposed to have forgotten that part of the story. Because yes, I said Donna don't have nothing going for her ass but audacity. She has that. She has tons of that. She ain't got much else, but she got audacity and boobs.
She a fucking audacity heir.
Apparently.
She didn't even have the decency to muster up and say, you know, you're right. I was wrong for doing that. But, you know, I'm hoping that we can have back on. But she didn't have the decency to even try to pull off an apology.
No, she was talking to Quinn like Quinn should just, girl, you ought to just be glad you got a man after all this is over. At least you're not being left alone, because you know, you could have been left alone, right? Okay, let me get my little bag of honey and go on over here so I can fuck your husband in the summer like my sister used to.
Right. Y'all saw how fast
Forgetting
she picked
that
up that
still Quinn's husband.
Y'all saw how fast she picked up that bag and the honey and ran when Carter came.
Oh yeah, that chicken shit. Donna's has audacity, and she's a bona fide, certified, 100% chicken shit.
And even, but you know what?
I'll hear me. Okay, go ahead.
What pissed me off was that Quinn was not being threatening the way she should have been. But Donna made the comment that there's a lot of people here, and if I yelled loud enough, someone would hear and come. Like Quinn didn't even threaten her.
If she went over that rail, nobody would hurt
her. Reginald, I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? Guess what? If you scream, they're gonna hear you on the way down. Can you fly, bitch?
She said that. I said, I know Donna did not just play the attack on Quinn.
Yes, she did it, and cue Charlie when she did it. When she said that, here come Charlie.
Donna pulled the Karen.
And it was
called the po-po. What?
Even if it's Charlie of all things.
Charlie sitting over there talking about y'all trying to be friends now? Charlie, Quinn, you should have slapped him.
Go find Pammy. That's all I was saying. Charlie, go find Pammy. Go find Pammy right now. Get your ass off this roof. I missed you, but I didn't stop missing you real quick.
But I'm like, who gonna hear you on the roof though, for real? Because
they're gonna hear somebody screaming. They ain't gonna know who it is to hit the floor. Hit the bottom.
You going down like Darlin said, from the first all the way down. But girl, you just got out. She's an audacity heir. I'm telling you,
she's
got millions of audacity.
And the gaslighting continues because the same bullshit that Donna was peeping, which was that, well, you know, Quinn, it's okay because, you know, you have Carter and you love him and blah, blah, blah. Then Charlie strolled his ass through the door saying the same shit. Well, true love won out. She's with Eric and you're with our hunky COO. I was like, okay, you know what? None of y'all, all of a sudden, none of y'all don't have no common sense or this is just plain old gaslighting. Because no, you are not going, I don't give a shit I don't care if Carter is the next coming of Idris Elba and Michael B. Jordan all whipped up into the same package. Nobody is going to tell me that a woman is going to be happy that her husband was stringing her along and lying to her face and making an ass out of her after he begged her to give their marriage a second chance, just to find out that he was porking a human reincarnation of Betty Boop.
But guess what?
Country club.
But guess what? When the whole thing comes out, they all gonna sit there and look stupid. I'm like, oh, so this ain't Quinn's fault. Y'all keep blaming Quinn now. Keep on. But when y'all find out who was actually corporate behind this shit, I gonna sit there and look
They
all stupid.
really don't care. Them people know how Eric is. They don't care. They do not care because Eric sat there and got caught. His daughter was with his wife when they caught his ass at the family club. Where the people was like, okay, well, yeah, I ain't trying to have none of this smoke. Mr. Forrester is over there at cabana number 24. That's where he been every time he come. He's gone. To take that out of public, yeah. I ain't buying it.
No, it's not. And
Yeah, and Charlie had a lot of nerve today.
yes, he
Yesterday,
did.
bringing in a badge with Donna Forrester when Quinn is still Mrs. Eric Forrester.
I would have fired every fucking body. I'm sorry, you know what? That's gonna be in my divorce paperwork. I would like to have control over HR and who gets to stay and who has to leave, because as long as I own some, y'all make sure I get some of that damn stock. Long as I own some of the stock around in this piece, I feel like I need to have my voice heard. And my voice is gonna say Donna needs to go. Charlie can get his ass on up out here too if he gonna keep being mouthy like that. And the same for Pam. Girl, I already told you I don't owe your sister nothing because I'm fucking a man. I ain't got him no more, so you take that up with Donna. But all y'all got to get out of this business while I own some of the stock.
Exactly. It's preposterous that Quinn is supposed, and the part that what Donna started out saying, I was just saying how telling Eric how how calm you're being about all of this. And I'm sitting up here, Donna, you are just seeing your face is enough to make somebody stop be calm about this entire matter. So all you're doing is antagonizing Quinn, making her remember the fact that she basically deuced out on True Love last year and almost, and this is the part that cracks me up. They sound like people who like, well, you know what? Yeah, I totally destroyed your kitchen to make this meal, but that doesn't matter because it's a good meal anyway.
Right. Your
That's
house
how
is like shit, but you are eating well, right?
exactly, like it doesn't matter the destruction that went along the way, nor the fact that them being sneaky pieces of shit about this entire matter almost resulted in Carter marrying somebody and Quinn at 100% definitively being alone because Carter would have been off the market. So them playing like her ending up with Carter somehow mitigates the circumstances and makes all this okay is just absurd. At least to me it is.
What takes the cake for me is how Eric and Donna don't think that they have done a damn thing wrong.
Right.
No. And the rest of the canvas is going along with it, which is them. They're trying to play that like that's the reality.
The whole canvas is congratulating them. They had the adultery party. Pam and Charlie brought them a gift bag full of honey. Who's next? I guess it's going to be Ridge probably. He was already at the adultery party. I guess it's going to be Thomas next.
Oh,
I guess so.
that would be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see if Thomas is going to be happy that his grandpa is with Logan.
Thomas won't one himself.
But Hope kind of different.
No, she's not. She just like him.
She really is. But Thomas don't see her like the rest of them, I don't think.
He did for 2 seconds when he was making that in and out list, and then they did something to his head again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about lost moments.
So Thomas Hope don't really count as far as Thomas is concerned, but Donna is a threat because just like you said, Sam, and like you keep saying, Donna got 12.5% and sold it to Bill Spencer. That's why she's more of a threat in this, and she's different than Hope, because Hope ain't got diddly squat but her line. And don't nobody really care about that. That's just something they gave her to get her out the way. But Donna is a threat because Eric thinks with his penis, and if they get married, like Charlie said, it's inevitable. He didn't even change her name to Logan on the badge. He just printed a Donna Forrester badge. I would hang her from the roof if I was Quinn, if I saw her with that.
Right. That is still Quinn's husband.
I
And
would
Quinn's
have
working in a place where
her.
basically all the employees is congratulating the side chick for sleeping with her husband since November.
Right. So
All of this sounds like a real bad Chinese drama.
No, Quinn needs to
A
be the
bad
last
Chinese
dragon.
historical drama.
Quinn needs to be the last dragon in Game of Thrones and burn that bitch down.
right.
Everything in it. I love Stephanie and I love her being CEO. But if she got to lose her CEO spot to Quinn, I will fucking allow it.
I'm with you.
You lost me there. You lost me there, Sam.
Well, that'll give Steffi a business storyline because then they'll
Exactly.
to get the company back.
Exactly.
Like
It'll give us something to fight for.
They was trying to get the company back from Brooke. So yeah, let Quinn take the company and let it be Quinn versus Steffi for Forrester Creation and see what it is. Maybe
Well,
why come on.
Oh, Eric don't need
Queen
that
can only
damn
get
thing at this point.
18.75% of Eric's shares. Now she may be able to demand more if she is owed more financially. So in a divorce, Quinn has to be made whole as the wife. So being made whole, if that means that Forrester Creations lose a big chunk of money, that's her lawyer don't give a shit about that. So if making Quinn whole is going to rock and shake Forrester to the point where they have to give her more than just the 18.5%, I will goddamn allow that. And Steffi, of course, would still have her 37.5%. So she still is a boss. I mean, nobody has more stock than her, but that would automatically make Quinn her arch rival.
Quinn has never been in no shape or form a person who wants to go or who desire to go against Steffi. If anything, if she get the damn 18.75, 25, 55, she ain't gonna do nothing but give it to Steffi.
She'll
Because
probably
she
As a
has
Steffi
said
fan,
it in
I would
her out
hope.
of her mouth that Steffi is the future of the company, and she should have had that seat a long time ago. So that's my deal on it. She ain't gonna do that. She ain't finna go head to head with the Steffi.
But whatever happens, she need to get 18.75%. That is the damn bare minimum that Quinn should be getting.
And you know what? Let's say that she does get it and she sells it to Steffi. Steffi can now get rid of the Logans because who's gonna fight her? Nobody. Even if Reg was to get with Eric and convince Thomas that the three of them could put whatever they got left together, they still won't have more than Steffi. So her
even if Quinn didn't sell Steffi her stock, even if just Quinn and Steffi agreed to be a voting block together, Quinn could be vice president. Steffi can make Quinn whatever title she want to make her.
Precisely. Thank you.
But they would essentially have controlling interests together over Forrester. So Ridge, Eric, Thomas, they can throw their little lots together, but it's not going to be enough to outvote Steffi and Quinn's together. Period. So
because a couple of months ago,
Steffi
Rick
and
was
Quinn
talking about giving up his seat anyway.
who?
Rick.
Yeah.
Rick was saying he's ready to retire anyway. He's ready to give it up and she's ready. He said she's ready now. I don't need to be here.
That's true. He sure did.
Well, I
say that.
Well, we all
know
in a good
at the end of the day,
position.
however it affects Steffi, that Quinn needs to get some power out of this because she is working in a den of thieves. Don't nobody respect her there. But her designs are a main source of income. How undamn fair is that all those people that hate her are eating off her?
Right.
That is unfair. They need
every day. Y'all wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for me and my jewelry.
Y'all sitting comfortable because my jewelry made nobody y'all could stop being nervous about if what's gonna sell or not. My jewelry gave y'all that comfort. And breathing room is bringing in the money. It's a solid source of income and a steady solid source of income that stays sold out from season to season. But Eric is going to bring in his honey whore as a secretary to upset the cart.
Because he's a damn idiot. Because here's the thing. One, we're gonna put a pin in this is gonna be to be continued definitely because the fact that Quinn wasn't just letting him stroll the hell on and come up with whatever kind of divorce agreement he wanted without going through lawyers is a big sign. Because remember, the last time he let Carter do everything and Quinn just said okay because she felt like she was the party who was in the wrong, so she didn't really have any desire to fight with him about anything. So the fact that they both are involved and they're lawyers in this, and for obvious reasons, I'm pretty sure they're both using other lawyers because obviously Carter has a conflict of interest, so he shouldn't be representing either side, is a good thing because that means they didn't both hire somebody to protect their own damn interest.
Well, who else
Yeah.
is the lawyer? I hope Quinn's lawyer is Justin, but since
That
Justin
would be
is
too
still on
good.
the hook with the Foresters over having Thomas in that cage, he'll probably end up being Eric's shark lawyer.
Well, I hope she didn't hide herself. She didn't hide herself a shark. Well, because she's a businesswoman, so obviously she has a lawyer. She would have a lawyer on retainer just because for things to deal with things for her jewelry line. So all I can say is I really do hope that this is a case of her pursuing her own best interest at this point. Because one thing is for certain, whatever generosity or amicability that Quinn would have had to display in this situation, having to deal with Donna in her face at the job on the clock, being snarky about how she should be happy that she ended up with fine ass Carter, that's gonna wear down whatever little bit of amicability she had left.
Yeah.
Finding honey bottles all over the damn place.
I'm with y'all. I want that honey spike. Let's
Every,
make it happen.
It's
every
really
time she
gross.
go to the break room, it's gonna be a jar of honey. It's a jar of honey probably gonna be sitting on Steffi's desk next week. Watch and see. It's
But I
gonna be
do
honey
give
all over the damn place.
I definitely give the show proper credit though, because they definitely had Quinn speaking for real empowered women today, talking about Donna and how basic she is and how dumb she is and how stupid she is. I really appreciate them. At least um giving it the proper respect that it deserved. We are not really honoring this type of behavior. It's really disgusting and it's really low of women. So here's the audio to prove it. I did appreciate that.
I'm glad because I'll be honest, if they had let Quinn come through this going, well, it doesn't really matter. I got Carter. I was gonna be mad as hell because that would make absolutely no sense. So yeah, I hope she go get her 2 bits and spare change out of Eric's assets for this foolishness that he didn't drug her through
Right.
for no damn reason.
But again, I just can't imagine being the boss's mistress and the only job they can find for me at this company is as a co-secretary. Donna's not unattractive. I would at least be asked if I could be the lead model the way that Maya did with Rick. Maya campaigned to be the lead model when she was Mrs. Rick Forster. And what did Rick do? He made her the lead model. I don't even think Forster had a lead model before Maya. And she said, that's what I want. That's how I want to be recognized as Mrs. Rick Forster. Excuse me. Maya wanted to be Mrs. Eric Forster Jr., lead model of Forster Creations. And that's what she got. This doodle bug over here ain't got nothing but a damn stapler.
Yes, the damn stapler.
And it
The
don't
damn
belong to
stapler.
her. It say forced secretion on it.
Right.
And a
And
bottle
she
of honey.
shared
Don't
with
forget the
Pam.
honey. Don't forget the honey.
Fuck that honey.
This dumb Donna got got the 12.5% shares from Eric out of the divorce, sold them to Bill, and went and blew the money and came back penniless and homeless. And
Can't get no
this
more
is why
drama than
Quinn said, Donna, she's so basic. I mean, and the way she described her when she was mocking her,
Yeah.
oh, I wasn't supposed to roll in the hay with your husband. Oh.
I'm sorry, that was hilarious. Quinn had me dying.
I mean, Rena Sofa is gold. She can pull off that comedy, I mean, flawlessly.
Honey, I laughed, and then Carter was laughing too, and I was like, "See, that's why they gonna make it because anybody else would have chastised her and told her, Quinn, you shouldn't be making
Like
jokes like that." But Claudia was like, "Ooh, girl, she surely is like that, ain't she?"
Right, like Wyatt. Wyatt
Yeah.
chastised her,
Right.
and I can't stand him. He's so soft. I can't stand him. Ooh.
You know, he got Loganized
Mm-hmm.
after he got Loganized before he even knew what he was, girl. He was out there in the naked, minding his own business. And Hope was running away. What was she running away from? Was that the time she saw Liam and Steffi kissing through the window?
No, she was running because Wyatt saw her looking at him bathing naked outside in the woods.
But
And
what
when he
was she
saw,
doing in the
and when
woods
she
in the
saw,
Yeah, she saw them kiss. She saw what she thought was a well. She saw them communicate. She saw Steffi with Liam in his bachelor room getting ready to be married to
that's
her.
not when she
So
met Wyatt though.
no, that's not how she met him. I thought you said why was she running through the woods?
Yeah, that's
So
what
I'm
Oh,
talking
Hope
about
was
when
in
y'all.
Big Bear. Hope was in
I,
Big Bear for something. I can't remember what though.
Oh, they went up to Big Bear together. Her and Liam did. Her and Liam
No,
did.
this is not about Steffi and Liam. This is about Hope and Wyatt. When Hope and Wyatt first met, Wyatt was in the woods taking a shower outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hope, dumbass, was just walking through the dumbass woods for no fucking reason. And she saw Wyatt bathing naked, and she was admiring and giggling like children do. Wyatt saw her. She saw Wyatt saw her, and she took off and started running and giggling, just like in the movies. And he was chasing after her, and she tripped over nothing, just like the movies. And she laid there with her eyes closed until he came and kissed her on the lips. Child, it was fairy tale lame, but at least it was something different at the time because Wyatt, we didn't know who the hell
Oh,
Wyatt was.
okay. Amaya said,
I was
yeah, Amaya,
confused
I
on the
think that you're
things.
about right.
I
Yeah.
was confused about
Liam
which one you was talking about, Bubble. I thought
Liam went to
you were talking
Paris to
about.
see Steffi. Lee after this was after
Mm.
JMW had left the show. And Liam went to Paris to see Steffi, and Hope went up to Big Bear, and that's where she ran into Wyatt, and then the whole naked thing happened, and then she saw the sword necklace, and then shit happened.
yeah, I just read the thing. The recap on somebody somewhere, one of the fan sites. I couldn't remember why she was in the woods, but now I remember why she was in the woods. Because there was one time when she was set up to see Steffi and Liam together, but that's the cabin in the mama's backyard.
Right.
They got a lot of,
That's what I thought you was talking about.
cabins are a thing for Hope and Liam. When they were in Aspen, they stayed at Bill's cabin. They had this thing at Big Bear where they were trying to go up there and get back together, but it didn't work out. And that's how Wyatt was introduced. And now they live in a little cabin in the woods. Like they got a lot of cabin symbolism in their relationship.
That's hilarious.
That's always what they're gonna be in somebody's.
Well, then I guess we can all stop asking why they stay in the cabin. Apparently, they know they meant to be there.
Yeah, that's their thing, like fireworks. But they can't have fireworks from their cabin because they'll set that shit on fire. And then where would they live? In the pool house?
Child.
Mm-mm-mm. Now, what are we talking about next? The fantasticness that was Sheila and Finn, or the interesting sparkiness that was Dealor? Y'all choice.
That's a struggle because both of them were so good. And this pieces of both of them that made my toes curl, I don't even know.
I know, right? Talking about toes curling. Toes definitely have been curling today. Today was a toe curling day because I liked all the scenes. I
And
do
it wasn't
not want any romance between Taylor and Deacon, but I definitely enjoy the scenes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. They do bring a nice little refreshing appeal to the TV screen.
And she did tell Deacon it's been a minute and a couple of seconds since she done been to Pound Town.
Who said that? Wait a minute, what?
Kristen Allen said, well, okay, actually, they both said it. Deacon said, I think Sean Kanan calculated how long it's probably been since Deacon had him any. And Krista said something funny about, yeah, somebody passed a comment that based on based on what's on screen, that it's probably like a nest of raccoons down there for Taylor.
Sean made it sound so nasty. He made it seem like Deacon got Dickie in jail. He said Dickie been out of jail since this amount of time, and then Taylor said, "Yeah." I made a joke, and it seemed like Taylor hasn't had any. She done grew a family of raccoons up in there. So what you trying to say? You been having jail sex? That's what I took from it. Like it didn't
No,
sound right. It was an attempt
I
at a
interpret.
joke, and
I
it flopped to me.
Well, I basically just heard that they was both having a dry spell, enough of a dry spell to be the Sahara Desert on both sides.
Yes.
Right. That's the way it should be. I would think that is exactly where it would be going. So I missed the whole thing. I only got in on the end. I can't believe that.
Damn,
So
working
what
for
is
a
the
living.
official name? Is it Dealer or Daler? What's the official name?
Well, the show hasn't tweeted anything with an official name yet, so I'm pretty sure they haven't decided yet. Well, but
Krista
those are
been
all two
tweeting
versions
daylight
going
though.
around.
What Krista been doing?
She been tweeting daylight, and it's on this side. I think this is just between us around here. We've been saying dealer because of bubbles. So I'm just sticking with that, whatever, because it
I'm
don't.
not changing what I said because I birthed this shit back in March. They can call it whatever they want. I don't care. It's gonna be Dealer as far as I'm concerned because I called it in March when people was telling me that's never gonna happen. And the only reason I called it Dealer was because of Sheila. And that was Krista's thing. She came up with Sheila. And I was like, you should have said Dealer because that's what's fixing to go down. And everybody laughed like, ha ha, silly, silly. Who are you to even say that? And I was like, okay then. So
Yeah,
the
I
show
ain't laugh.
is going to
Now,
all be
but they definitely promoting it, Sean and Krista. So
oh,
there's something.
well, hold on. Not to interrupt our good soap swing. We're gonna go back to that. But I wanted to say something that popped up in the news. Remember that conversation we had about the stupidity of Biden agreeing to this deal to
Yeah.
nominate an
With the judge.
anti-abortion judge?
Right.
Well, apparently that plan has been dropped because it's stupid.
Girl.
So there ain't much hope.
Yay.
There's not much hope for anything in here, but you know what? I'm gonna take the little tiny, infinitesimal, almost invisible victories we get because apparently for every good thing that happened, 18 bad ones happen. I don't even know what to say about Ricky Martin or this other
Child.
business. I'm just like, what
What
part
the
of
hell
the
going on with Viva La Boca? What's
Girl.
going
Child.
on?
Oh, can.
Child. But we might need to leave that. We
Me
might
and
need to leave
Amaya
that
saying
to
the
the end.
same thing. What the hell going on with Viva La Boca?
Okay,
I
Okay.
let's
don't know. I'm
Do
gonna
see.
put
y'all
my
want
thing
to?
on
Okay.
mute.
Do y'all want to? Well, let's finish the soap
Give me
talk
the
first.
Cliff Notes. Give me the Cliff
Um,
Note version.
He was having an affair for 7 months with his 21-year-old nephew, and then he had an order of protection put against him from his nephew because he became violent when his nephew tried to break off their affair.
He
yeah,
had an affair with his nephew?
And then
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
somebody pushed Ivana Trump down the stairs.
This is the damn
Yeah, that's what they
staircase
think.
season 2.
Wait a minute. Is this nephew through marriage or blood?
His stepsister's child. But here's the thing:
Oh my
if
goodness.
if they raised that, if his stepsister, it was his stepsister from when they was kids, and she was raised up in that, and these Hispanic people, so
It don't
they got to be related by blood, but she was married into the family. So if she was raised up with him because
right.
they had a Brady Bunch kind of family, that's his fucking nephew. I don't care.
I don't
Right,
care.
right.
That's
That's
right up there with Elon Musk having
disgusting.
children with his damn stepdaughter who he didn't raise since she was 4.
She had
Right.
two.
So yeah, that's called grooming. He was grooming
So
that
is he
child from the time he married her mama.
so when they gonna indict him, when they
We
go get him
waiting.
the
I'm
R.
waiting
Kelly
on him to get
treatment?
R. Kelly. I'm waiting on him to
I'm gonna
get R.
need them to
Kelly.
get him the R. Kelly treatment. Cut
Girl,
his fucking music off the radio and swipe him off streaming services and indict him in 3 different countries.
well, listen, Puerto Rico's part of the United States, but here's the thing: if they prove their case, that's 50 years automatic because that's the penalty in Puerto Rico for incest. They ain't even talking about child abuse. He
Oh my
got to deal
God.
with incest charges first, And then everything else after that, he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. Might want to be pen pals with Bill Cosby or somebody.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
but
about them
even
Trumps?
Elon Musk is even more repulsive in the fact that his father raised the child that he had sex with and had a baby with.
Two.
Two. That's their
Anyway, what
second
You
about
child.
said
them
two? Two
Trumps?
what? Two what?
Listen,
That's his
the
daddy.
Trumps
What
were
was that,
supposed to
Renee?
testify today. They were supposed to testify today.
Robert
The
said
daughter, Don Jr., Don Sr.,
they were
and
supposed to
all
be
of a
deposed
sudden
today.
their mom dies.
But we weren't through talking about Elon yet. Hold on.
Yeah, what happened with so when who what was two?
Renee.
You said two.
That's his daddy has had his 70-some-year-old daddy has had 2 kids with the 35-year-old stepchild that he raised. Elon.
He on
Adopted.
that Woody Allen time.
He adopted this girl.
Yeah, like
He adopted her.
it's a Woody
Yes,
Allen.
it's his
Raised her
stepdaughter,
since she was
Ken.
4.
It's his
It's a Woody
stepdaughter.
Allen
He
situation.
married her mother, raised her, probably was molesting her. But he was at least grooming her the whole time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
At least was grooming her the whole time and molesting her probably the whole time. So I guess get old enough to divorce the mom. I don't even know if he divorced the mom or not. But just the fact that he was having sex with the child that he raised is disgusting and criminal.
He
Oh,
said
God.
he said our purpose is to reproduce. Like that was his when people were asking him about that, he was like, well, our purpose on this earth is to reproduce. And I'm like, what do you mean with your kids, sir? What is you
correct? Like, oh, I'm sick. I want to throw up.
They didn't mean with the child that
It's
you
just like,
Fucking ideas, all this shit show.
They got all this money.
I'm
They got
like,
all this money, and they just think they can just do anything to anyone.
That's why they do
it's
it.
horrible.
that's
Because
why
they got
money
all the
makes
money.
people
They're
excessive
supposed to.
money makes people depraved. And I'm sorry that this is not all people. Of course, there are plenty of people who got elephant dollars who don't do crazy shit like this. But I'm sorry, that's some depraved shit.
It's that God complex.
And all this in the
Wait a
same
minute. It's
damn
what complex, Renee?
a God complex.
A God complex?
Yeah.
They don't. That's what. Well, technically, I kind of agree with Nate because those are the kind of people who really feel like I'm not just above man's law. I'm above any other type of authority. There is no other type of authority. I'm the authority. I decide what's right, morally, ethically, whatever.
Exactly.
They don't recognize that there is any law that is above whatever the hell it is they want.
Well,
Like 45.
this baby was a mistake. This baby wasn't playing, but they was living together after the first baby. So when people live together, they fuck. So sometimes babies get married, But at least here's the moral: she could have had an abortion. They're rich people in South Africa. Who would have stopped them? So he's building what do you call it? I guess they're building some kind of empire, I guess, because his daddy said, that's the whole purpose of us being on this earth to make more people. I died.
Yeah, but not with your kids, sir. Just like you said, not with the children that you raised that look up to you, not the people that you're supposed to be teaching values. That's not.
And then of course,
just imagine the kids that they raising now. I mean, what kind of values is they teaching those kids? Is this okay to fuck the in-laws?
Apparently so, or they don't
They're
even know what
probably
an in-law
so fucked
is.
up. Them kids are probably so fucked up. It starts at home.
Well, they're little bitty babies now, they'll probably grow up with some kind of issues because the one kid got a name. It's a damn mathematical equation. It ain't even a real name. What they name that damn baby?
Why would they do that?
I call him AE. I call him AE.
Look.
Arithmetic.
And that's one letter. That's how you spell Caesar. Like that's a letter that actually has like that's an actual letter.
Sound.
But
Yeah.
this is a sound. But this the damn baby's name. I'm gonna I'm gonna put it in YouTube so I can put it on the screen. That's
But
what
you know, that's one of the privileges of having so much money. You can name your kid,
that's the baby.
and because you know they gonna have money. They like gonna need to write no name on the application. So you walk around and with your child name, and that's fine.
Wait a minute. Can.
That's the baby name.
Did you say the baby name was?
Yes.
That's about what Ricky saying. How do you think you pronounce that? I mean, hell, and I was talking shit about Nick when he named his child Kal-El Cage. I'm like, why are you doing to that child? You know what? Kal-El gonna be all right. At least people can pronounce his shit. At least his shit is letters. That is, I mean, I don't even know. It's probably what Ken said.
That's a darn shame.
So
But anywho, let's
Oh,
get past
really?
the disgusting, the despicables, and the what you call them, deplorables, and move on to the soap operas, and let's get to some type of
Please
material you can do.
take me away, Calgon.
I was
Hold
gonna
on now, you forgot about Ivanka. That poor
Oh,
woman filed
Ivanka.
her
I don't
life.
even know what happened to Ivanka. So what
Okay.
happened to Ivanka?
All right, so Ivanka, aside from the fact that Ivanka is dead, originally they said, Ivana, the first wife, Trump's first wife. Originally, they said Ivana had died from cardiac arrest. Well, apparently, some coroner's report then came out and said that she didn't die from blunt force trauma from a fall down the stairs. And it's just that the timing of this is just more than a little suspect since all her kids were supposed to be deposed like the next day. So it's everybody who done saw the staircase, the show on HBO is like, yeah. What's the chances that somebody bounced that poor woman down that staircase?
Like
well,
like in the movie Death Becomes Her.
but it's not a straight staircase. It's hard to throw somebody down a spiral staircase. I'm clumsy as fuck. I can't even walk a spiral staircase, but I can't imagine somebody trying to throw me down one. And then how wide is it? Because most spiral staircases that I think about, they're not very wide. So I want to see this staircase.
And at 73, she's coming down a spiral staircase.
Well,
That's what. Hey, listen. Now that's what stood out to me when I heard it. I talk to people all day and every day, and people in their 70s is not walking up the damn staircase every damn day.
They getting a
girl,
ride.
I'm in my 50s
Elevator.
and I'm not doing a
They
spiral.
can't
I
take
would have
the
been surprised
elevator
if she didn't have an
because a lot
elevator
of
or a
people
lift
have
yet.
vertigo. A lot of older people associated with having a lot of pain has
Well, as
symptoms
we
of
get older,
vertigo.
no matter how good shape we in, those that cartilage between the joints wears out and wears thin, and
True.
joint movement becomes painful with age, and that's damn normal. And they not
Mhm.
going up and down no damn stairs at
Nope.
70 something.
look at
They move. They either move out into a 1 bedroom flat or they live downstairs and other people live upstairs.
Yeah.
but I'm looking at pictures of her place, and
You're doing the same shit I'm doing, and I'm looking at that staircase right now too.
she ain't
Damn
got
Yeah.
hard.
no stairs. I mean, she ain't got no choice. If this is her house, that's where she living at. Now that's not no damn spiral staircase that I would think of. That's
No,
not
it's the spiral staircase in her home on the outside to get inside the house.
inside.
So what is the story? So what is the story? The story is that
They
the
found
kids
her
were
at the
supposed to
bottom
testify, but they found her at the bottom of the stairs.
and
So
her
if she fell down the
ex-husband.
stairs, she would have blunt force trauma, but they think she fell down due to a
Mhm.
heart attack. Because they can tell a heart attack. I mean, there's a
She
heart
didn't
attack is
have a heart
definitive. They can
attack.
do an autopsy and definitively say it was a
Oh
heart
no, they
attack.
said no.
It's
You could
the
That was
draw
big
blood and see it.
corrected. They said that no, the coroner has now said that it was blunt force injury from the fall that killed her, not a heart attack.
Are those carpeted stairs or are they metal stairs?
But she's 73. It don't matter. It could be all carpet. At
No,
73,
no,
your
I'm
ass is gonna
asking
be
for
hurt.
a reason. I'm asking for a reason because it ain't no slip.
Blunt
You can't
force
slip on
trauma.
carpet. I'm
Well,
just on.
you
I
can't.
need to see the picture. Show. Can y'all
But
share
see,
the
that's
picture?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably. I don't think that lady was killed. If she truly was going up and down stairs at 73, she probably legit fell. I don't know about y'all, but as I'm
Yeah,
aging,
look at
I'm
this
finding
staircase.
myself to be fragile as hell. I sometimes fear that I'm gonna damn drown by taking a fucking shower.
Girl.
Sometimes the damn water just go in there, and I don't recall that ever happening when
Girl,
I was young.
sometimes I'll be scared to stand up off the toilet because I feel like I'm gonna slip and fall and hit my head on the sink and die.
And if
On the
it's
shitter,
Or
right?
in
And
a
be in the house
flux
alone. See,
capacitor,
that's
one of
what I'm
the things.
saying. I mean, I'm thinking some terrible shit did happen. Maybe I'm manifesting because those are my own fears. But yeah, I can't see myself going up and down stairs at 73. I don't like going up my
Yeah,
little
Pam,
steps it
I'm
is at my
feeling like
age.
you, honey. I'm
but
feeling
you know,
just
that's
like
one of the
you.
things that happens all the time. It's common to slip and fall in the tub. It's slippery as them damn thing is, and I don't care even if you do put one of them slippery rubber mats in there, you still can slip, no matter
With
how
Yeah,
the
old you are.
kind
I don't.
of
yeah.
money this
It's
woman
like
had, she
escapades up in the
had to have an
tub.
elevator.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet.
not,
I bet. I
that's
bet.
not
She
want to
had to
see
have an
there.
elevator.
Hey, somebody, can y'all share it
Hmm.
for me?
So
And
here's the house that she lived in. And this is the staircase with the old girl on it. This is
Oh, I see it with the green stair carpeted.
yeah. So that's the staircase inside of their house. Well, inside
Ooh,
of
There's
the house.
also
they have
one
one of
when
them
the
coats.
kids were younger at
Um
Christmas time
and
with her and her husband and her 3 children. And it's on a spiral staircase. And I believe it's like on the lower level of her home.
well, not
She got the
everybody talking
home in the
about it.
divorce.
Somebody from TMZ gonna have pictures of that
Oh,
online before the
yeah.
week is out. Before
yeah,
the weekend is out, I have no doubt.
somebody
I know
somewhere.
that.
If you dig deep enough, that's why I'm on Getty because sometimes you get lucky on Getty and get stuff you don't expect. So this
It
is
look
the
like
outside of her apartment building. I bet it doesn't have an elevator because these are old. Y'all got to remember these were old buildings. That is the new building. Those are old buildings that got gentrified, super gentrified. And they got upgraded for rich people. If they got an elevator, they would have had to change some of the structure inside of the building, and I don't know that they would have been able to do that. So it's quite possible that all she got in there is that big old fucking luxurious ass staircase.
it look like it's marble underneath the carpet too. So
Yeah.
I'm making
She gonna
sense. It
wear
didn't.
red, don't she? I'm
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna
surprised.
say
I'm
red.
just surprised she don't have a Mrs. Deagle chair.
Is this that? That's the top of the staircase.
But
That's
that's
the
probably
bottom.
my bias. That's probably my bias from watching Gremlins as a child. I thought all old people with
Oh
money would
my
have one of
God!
them. Would have
With the
one of them
little
damn
scooter.
lift chairs. Yeah, one of them lift chairs on the stairs. I spent my whole life calling those Mrs. Eagle chairs.
Listen,
I'm sorry, Gremlins. That was my
I'm looking
favorite movie when I was little. Gremlins and the Goonies. Let me shut up.
I wanted one of those chairs. I actually, the reason I bought this house and sold my other house is because I got tired of walking up down the stairs. I saw myself falling. I was like, someday I'm gonna be 70 in this house, and I'm gonna be coming down these stairs and trip and fall and be dead at the bottom of these stairs, and they're not gonna know I'm dead until my neighbors go, "What the hell is that smell?" And then they'll find my dead body right at the bottom of the stairs. So I sold my house, and now there are no stairs. I have steps to get to the driveway, but that's about it. I'm not gonna die going to the driveway. Um, but if they pushed her, y'all, they wouldn't have pushed her. They would have sent somebody. But that one boy already gave his deposition, and they said that he pled the fifth 500 times.
Which boy?
Eric.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's what they can expect from all of them. Didn't Donald Trump say when he was running that only guilty people plead the fifth?
Amen. He sure did.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say nothing about it because
Wow, damn, Sam.
He
But he
sure
said it.
did.
it ain't.
The execution has been done. Good
Hmm.
grief.
All of his chickens are coming home to
Told him.
roost, honey.
So no.
I mean,
That's
also not to mention the fact. Let's be real. Donald Trump is a crook. Okay, that's what he is primarily. He is a crook and a con artist. But the problem
mm-hmm.
is, he has made a very crucial mistake in thinking that being a crook and a con artist is enough to deal with people who are actually stone cold murderers in this world who have money. So I really do honestly, for the long term peace of the world, it would be better if this really was an accident for this poor woman, that she was just a lady who was up in ages, that she slipped, she fell, unfortunately she passed. That's sad, but it would still be, a normal event. If it turns out it's one of these things, how people who cross Putin end up going out of windows on the real funny side, or MBS or anything, or anybody else who's afraid, anybody in that family is going to run their mouth about something they don't want them running their mouth about, that's a whole different kettle of problems.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the case. I think the lady just this time. I mean,
It'd be
I
better
think
if it
that if it
was.
is time.
Y'all
But
gotta do a little
going
more
back to the soap
research.
operas.
Yes, let's go back to Sheila
Yeah.
and Finn in this room, child,
Yeah.
because I was just.
Oh wait, right before we get back to Sheila and Finn, I did want to make note of the fact that one of the first things that was obvious today is that Taylor has been in contact with Steffi's daughter, with her grief counselor. And if the look from what was said, we didn't hear what was told, but we can see why she's going to end up in Monaco, because whatever that doctor is telling her, it don't look like Steffi's making good progress on
Right.
her grieving process.
Right.
Yes, that's clear. What has been made clear, the whole story arc, in my opinion, is that Steffi needs Finn and Finn needs Steffi. Those two things have been in the dialogue from the beginning of the story to the end.
Yeah.
And I love that.
So, yeah, Steffi is going to continue to decline the longer she is away from Finn.
That's that cosmic connection, honey.
You guys give a round of applause for Finn and his interpretation of a struggle today? Cause honey, he giving me life. Like he's
Tana did
not
that
kidding me.
shit.
Saying, I'm gonna need you to know he knows something is up with his wife, because he just said it's been too long for she think I'm dead. No, I gotta get up out of here right now, right now.
He was
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
my daddy,
He
my wife,
knows
my kids. What the
It's
hell?
cruel.
I love that he knows that about her.
yes,
It's not
Exactly.
fair. It's not right for her to be thinking this. Yeah. I
yeah,
love that.
Sheila
Exactly.
completely lost it. I
Yeah.
mean, what did Sheila say today? Um,
You have the
what did she
rest of
say
your
today?
life that you have the rest of your life to be with Steffi, but let me savor this
Savor
moment. I
this
was like,
moment.
are you
Yeah,
out of your mind?
She
yeah,
said,
I
I'm
couldn't
going
even
to
believe it.
prison. You're going to let me have this minute. Steffi's got you forever, but your mama's going to prison.
Once again, she love to put on display how selfish she is.
That's
She
what
can
she
never be
doing,
a real
basically.
mother because she's too damn self-serving and selfish.
She is. She
Exactly.
basically just wants to possess Finn, and like
Exactly.
she said, she want this moment. She is treating Finn like he is the child that she lost, and she finally got back and found. He's
That's
a
what I
grown
said
man,
last
and she
Let's
night.
is
do it.
treating
I
him.
told y'all she was gonna put him in timeout. She didn't
You
inject
heard what
him.
she said. You will not talk like that, young man. You will
Yes.
not behave
Did
that
you
Child,
hear
way.
that,
she
I
Chris?
is
am
she
your
is
I
mother.
told
I
you was
love
gonna
you.
pop
infantilizing
him on
him.
the butt.
Yes,
He gonna send him out to his room without dinner. Oh,
Sheila is. It's like Sheila is infantilizing Finn. Here's the thing. First of all, hey, because of that big blowing up ass death certificate, we know Finn is precisely 33 years old. Okay, thank you,
Yes.
internet.
Oh,
Huh?
30.
Oh, 34. 34. You're right. So,
Right, February 89.
but she's sitting up here infantilizing the man, talking to him like he is a small school age
Yes.
child.
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
girl, are you crazy? This is a grown ass married ass man with a wife and churn.
And
No,
child
you
of his own.
you
But
will
what
listen
did
to
I
mommy.
tell y'all
Listen to mommy. What?
But what did I tell y'all last night? Finn is the baby that Sheila has been trying to get her hands on since Bill Bell created her and she lost her baby and stole Lawrence. She's never been successful because Lauren has always thwarted her from
Mhm.
stealing the babies. Now she has successfully stole a baby that she actually gave birth to. Like her child, like we ain't gonna talk about none of them other kids from the other shows that we don't know nothing about. And we're not going to talk about Mary and Diana, even though they were conceived on both. She ain't raised none of them kids, and they have nothing to do with none of them. But Finn, for some reason, maybe because Jack's dick was better than Baltimore's, I don't know.
No, because Finn is tied to Steffi.
Well,
There we go. Say that again.
So Finn is tied to Steffi, and she's always wanted that connection. But now she's got the baby she's always wanted, and she's going through this whole cycle of everything. Like, I'm going to,
Yes.
you know, she's already babied him because he was out, so she had to take care of him like he's a baby. Now she's treating him like he's a toddler because he can't walk right now. So she's going to stay in the childhood with him. He can't walk.
And she keep throwing up
that damn script in her head, making it seem like she the one that pulled him up out of the damn hospital and brought him in the room and gave him new life. Talking about, see, this the death certificate. They told you were dead. They thought you were dead.
Right.
Yeah.
But I saved you. I saved you. I did all of the work.
And you could tell Finn is upset because I looked long and hard at that thing, and Lee really did sign that mother.
She did.
Yep.
But she didn't sign her whole name. And I think her sentence off by her signature because her name is Lee Ann Finnegan. First off, it's Ann with the E, and I don't like that because her first name is Lee, the Asian Lee, but her middle name is Ann with the E, and my brain can't reconcile that her name is not L-I-A-N, Lee Ann. Anyway, that I think there's something about that signature. It's bothering my head, my thinking process. She didn't put none of her credentials behind her name. You know, usually when doctors sign
to make it legal,
they'll put their MD behind it, the PhD or whatever they are. They sign that with their signature. And I have never seen a doctor not do that, even though my prescription, my doctor already has that designation on the line, so she ain't got to write it out no more. She just signed her name and then her medical credentials follow. But usually if it's signed on a piece of paper like something like that, there's credentials on there. And Lee didn't have no credentials. And Lee is not a medical examiner. Usually the medical examiner is the one who signs the death certificate. So all of that, I mean, we know it's fake because Lee faked it, but
not to mention the interns had a good time because at the bottom where they put he died at Il Giardino on that damn thing.
But
they did. Yeah, they had fun with that then.
It's in Los Angeles, Il Giardino. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I know they had a joke about that then. So yeah, but you know what was even Sheila at the end when she was putting the syringe, when she was squeezing whatever it was into the IV bag, she told him it was gonna hurt her more than it hurt him.
She sat up there and sedated the man. She didn't put Shaqrin up in there. She done put some. That probably was morphine.
But my favorite part actually was that very part when Finn realized that he was going unconscious. He made up his mind that all he wanted to think about was Steffi. I feel like he was imagining Steffi in his mind because that was the last thing he wanted to be thinking about when he went out.
Yep. That was kind of sad to me.
It was sad for me
that.
It
was sad for me too because it literally like he made up his mind. Like, I don't know if I ever open my eyes again, but I just want to think about Steffi.
Yeah, and then, but you know what I do get up out of that? Whatever she did to him and whatever she administered to him is going to work against her because next week, y'all, he's gonna be on 2 legs.
Yeah,
right. So he might use that same thing to stick her ass.
And the week after, they're in Monte Carlo.
I can't wait for my baby
Krista
to be
said today 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He said what?
She'll be in Monte Carlo. We'll see what takes place.
In 2 weeks, because we don't know exactly how Finn's getting out there. We know that Taylor and Ridge go because of Steffi's mental health. So we still waiting to see exactly what happens to get Finn out Monte Carlo.
But I'm hearing about an explosion and a helicopter over there.
Right.
So is it Sheila?
That's what I've been saying from the beginning. There's no way that we just gonna have Sin and Tridge in Monte Carlo. There has to be angst there. There has to be that
Mhm.
factor that the opposing factor. So I believe Sheila is going to make her way to Monte Carlo, whether she's actually filmed in Monte Carlo or not. But Sheila is definitely going to be looking for either Steffi, Finn, or Hayes, or all of them.
I think Hayes
Because there's going to
because
be a chase. Because I don't know if Finn and Taylor and Finn, Taylor, and Ridge are looking for Steffi, because we know they looking for somebody on the streets of Monte Carlo. Are they looking for Sheila? Are they trying to find Steffi to protect her and the kids? So I don't know.
well, one thing is really clear, especially after today's episode with how Sheila was infantilizing Finn. She has this deep seated unquenchable need to not only just be loved by a child that is hers, but to also have the opportunity to raise that child. See, at Sheila's age, most people, no matter what their circumstances, they understand that that time has passed. Okay, if you're not in childbearing age anymore, specifically, then you either focus a lot of your energy on your grandkids if you're a really maternal person, or you volunteer, you teach children, you find ways to channel your maternal instincts healthily. Sheila's a psycho, so she's never actually figured out how to do that. And the first time she gets a child of hers over a barrel, or in this case, in a damn hospital bed, she just has this entire internal fantasy about helping him. Let me be here for you. Let me help you. I saved your life. And she's talking to him like he's four. So
Exactly.
when all of this goes thermonuclear, and it becomes clear that she can't get from Finn what she wants from Finn, even more so if he manages to escape, either with Jack's help or if he manages to get Mike to go along and get him the hell out of here. I think Sheila gonna crack like a 2 minute egg and feel like Hayes may be her last shot at
Exactly.
this.
That's what I'm hoping too. That this doesn't, I mean, I want Sin to have a fabulous reunion, and I want it to be uninterrupted, and I want it several days on screen of them having love making scenes all over the Cliff House or wherever they at. But shortly thereafter, I want them to discover that Sheila got Hayes, so the angst can begin again.
I think
I
I'm
have a
definitely thinking
question.
that's gonna happen because, like I
mhm.
just put in chat, everybody keeps forgetting that it's Tridge and Finn. Yeah, they running, but also it looks like Amelia is too. Is somebody
That's
running next to
somebody that
There
Finn?
was
right.
a
It's
woman that, yeah,
somebody in
I couldn't tell
Monaco.
who it was. But
But
they
we
all
saw
look like
her.
they're looking for
Other
something.
children.
We
She
saw
has
her on
other
Krista's
children.
live. We saw her on Krista's Instagram. That lady that was in. She was, I believe she showed that little clip of what they were going to be doing. It was a lady that had like light hair.
No, this
Um,
lady I saw had brunette hair, and she looked. I don't know if that's gonna be Amelia or if that's just somebody work at the hotel or whatever. But
right. I
I
think it's somebody
said,
in Monaco. It's
I
somebody
think
in
that.
Monaco. Yeah.
But see, I'm thinking that might be Amelia because she is brown. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's something to see.
I can't wait to see. I mean, I really just, we got a lot of itty bitty crumbs coming from this storyline. It's leading us to our reunion. But I mean, quite literally, we have no clue about nothing else about this reunion except Monte Carlo. That's all we have.
Yeah, they
I
want
mean,
keeping us on the edge of our seat.
I am. And every day, and I thought today was going to be the day that, Finn choked Sheila out or tried to choke her out. But it looks like we got a whole nother week of Sheila torturing Finn. And then the week after that, we may be getting some light shed on what's going on. And Bill Spencer is still a big question mark.
Oh, speaking of it, since she on Villa, speaking of which, I saw another picture. This one was because I guess maybe they're all the three of them at lunch together. Because this one was just with Wyatt and Liam at this place. I looked at that table. I said, "Oh, for sure they didn't drug him to that because they got hot sauce on the table, beer bottles." And I'm like, they probably got a little bucket of peanuts for you to crack while you wait for your damn food. I'm like, yeah, that ain't Bill Speed. So they definitely are on a pier or a dock somewhere to eat seafood, which really
Yeah.
does give way to the whole Lee theory. So I'm waiting.
I don't even recall Bill meeting Lee. Bill wasn't at the wedding. I don't even recall Bill meeting Lee Finnegan.
That's the thing. He may recognize her, I guess, from maybe seeing pictures from the wedding, but you're right. Bill was not at the wedding, neither was Quinn, and neither was Carter, because that was right after, all that mess happened.
Mm-hmm.
But so no, on screen, he and Lee have never met ever. So this will be if it turns out that Bill's right time, right place really is to be the savior for Lee, well, that's just going to be all kinds of interesting.
Right, because we getting a lot of Deacon, but we still don't get a lot of Bill. I never be all right with that.
Well,
And we just don't
hopefully,
get Bill Spencer as much as we should. I mean,
well, hopefully this is them giving him a story to actually be in. Because the problem is, Deacon, the two things that Bill cannot do anymore that anybody wants to see is one. I'm sorry, no offense, but I don't care about him and Katie and Beatty getting back together. That's dead. They didn't whoop that horse to death. And of course, I don't want to see him mooning over Brooke. So they need to give him something to do that is not those two things. Anything.
oh, I agree. 100%. Me and you on the same page with that. I want to see Bill Spencer, and I definitely don't want to see him with Katie because why? It makes no sense anymore.
That ship is
and yeah, because
I used to like
I mean, I don't care. I don't even care if he is Brooke's bitch. I don't even care. I just want to see him on screen. I just want to see him. I want to see him on screen.
Can somebody tell me why Sheila? Where is her other children? Why isn't she as fixated on them like she is on Finn?
Casey kind of addressed that in a bold live a while ago, where first the show does not acknowledge any of that Genoa City shit. Okay, the twins in GC, the show does not acknowledge that in any shape, way, or form as far as they're concerned. That never happened. Which honestly, I don't disagree with that because when you try to mesh what was happening in Genoa City when they had Sheila there with LA Sheila, it don't really match up for nothing in the world because you can't even timeline when the hell she had all these churns. It's like, I know Papa was a Rolling Stone, but damn, Sheila, when you had time to birth all these babies. As for her children from LA, the one that she had with Massimo, and then the one that she had with James, I have no idea. They not even. I mean, honestly, I think they must be ready to say that Erica must be in a padded cell somewhere.
I thought she had twin girls from Massimo.
No. She had one.
From James.
She had Mary. Yeah, she had one. She had one baby with James. Warwick, and then one with Massimo.
I'm gonna look it up again, but I thought her twin girls came from Massimo and her
back.
She didn't have no twins.
Yeah, she do. Yeah, she do. Look it up.
You talking Young and the Restless. That's
Young and the Restless. She had twins.
Young and the Restless, right?
Yeah.
They don't acknowledge that on The Bold and the Beautiful. So the kids that they do acknowledge, Finn's not an only child. He has siblings now.
Right. Well, him and Ridge share a sibling. Ridge and my Sheila's daughter and Ridge's half sisters. They dad is Massimo. Yeah, that's Erica, right?
Yeah.
The other one.
Erica Lovejoy is James.
Massimo.
Daughter.
No,
it's
Mary is James's daughter.
Yeah.
They don't
because she tried to make it
these other children.
What you say, Renee?
They don't even speak of these kids.
No, they don't. But
well, because Sheila has been gone for decades, and she hadn't been spoke of for decades.
Not to mention, they don't even speak of all the children who were born to other people. This show is the antithesis of what Days or GH does with children. Okay,
they don't stay in touch with my siblings. Like that's crazy to me.
They're not trying to build they're not trying to build a future based on generations because case in point, Google people I've been saying from bottom one, if they drug Deacon back to the show, okay, are they ever going to address what happened to his son? The son who was last seen with Amber in Genoa City when she sent him to boarding school after everything started going tits up over there for her? Or what about Nick? What about Brooke and Nick's kid? Where is he? There are tons of missing children for some reason.
Yeah, where's all Brooke's kids? Where's Rick? Well, Bridget finally here.
And they finally talked
Jack.
about RJ the other day. They mentioned him. So it's
What
like,
about the grandkids, Logan and what's the other one's name? Lizzie.
exactly. So it's kind
They
of
don't.
like,
It just
Other
don't
bad
happen on this soap like other soaps.
mm-mm.
Other soaps
And
they
then
honor that.
not only
and
that, but you have kids who should
of Rick.
actually be adults by now. Because here's the thing: Deacon's son with the Deacon's son that he had with Becky is older than Hope. So technically, if they wanted to, Hope should have an older brother who's on campus at this point. Not to mention Felicia's son. We ain't seen Dino in I don't know how long. He should
Yep.
be a damn grown ass man by now.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you will never see that because for reasons that I can't comprehend, this show isn't trying to do any of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, thank goodness they don't bring him back. They'll probably kill him off like they did Allie.
I got
Exactly.
another question. I was watching old ones, right? Just trying to get backstory. And Hope and RJ were real little. But the twins and Thomas were so much older.
Yep.
You have hit
Yep.
upon one of
That
the many
happened.
complaints. The show, okay, the cheap version is this. Belle, for reasons that we will still never understand truly to this day, decided to kill Phoebe, and then he aged Hope up to basically make her contemporaries with Steffi and Thomas. When age-wise, it never went like that.
Right.
RJ and Hope were significantly younger than the twins and Thomas. You were absolutely right about that. That is exactly how the timeline was supposed to go. But it was kind of like they put an X through Phoebe's name and wanted to move Hope up to her spot. So they basically changed her age to facilitate that.
Yep. Which is
That's
probably why all
interesting.
these other kids just remain unnamed in off screen because they would have to explain all that.
Well, what do you think about him bringing Phoebe back?
I don't see the point. Ridge is still not going to be a family man, so Phoebe might as well stay with the Angels. That's just one more kid for Ridge to fuck over and screw up, and so I'd
You
say
know what?
pass.
Once upon a time, I would have loved for Phoebe to come back and do what was supposed to be done a long time ago. Step in them Stephanie Forrester's shoes. Because the way that they done set Steffi up, child, I can't get over it. Like she's going about it the whole backwards way, long way, and they done detour her out of that whole
Yep.
story arc. So it's just like, hey, if you gotta bring somebody back and you can't bring Susan back, find somebody there to play Phoebe.
She's not going to.
Because
Phoebe
Phoebe
kissed
was a
Brooke ass more than.
spitfire too.
No, she wasn't. She was a Brooke apologist too. I ain't really
No,
care for
she
her.
was a spitfire too. And when it came down to it, when it was about her family, especially her sister, oh yeah, it was on like crack of dawn. So I need that part to develop out because being gone that long will make a person bitter.
No, I think Phoebe need to stay where she at.
I don't know. I
And
have mixed feelings about it just because one,
and
I
yeah,
would love for them to have Phoebe, but two, I don't want them to fuck it up.
and they would no doubtedly fuck it up. I mean, seriously. I would prefer some new characters that don't have any history that we can just start from scratch with to enjoy and try to learn and have some fun with.
Yeah, I like
I would
like
mind Lee having some a niece or something, to bring in, as a new character. And or Jack bringing another one of them sexy Finnegans. I mean, Jack is sexy to me. Finn is sexy to me. Give us another hot, sexy Finnegan man. Let's give us a
yeah.
sexy Finnegan man and a
Well,
sexy
Yeah, because
Finnegan
Taylor
woman.
needs somebody other than Diggler. She needs somebody other than Deacon to be
Bring
entertained.
RJ home.
Well, if Taylor and Deacon are friends, I can definitely go with that. I can go with
Yeah,
friendship
I was trying
without
to
no
go that way too,
benefits.
but I done detour back. Like, I ain't going for it because at the end of the day, name somebody that's a Deacon friend that it benefited them to be his friend.
No, I don't foresee Taylor getting anything out of any type of relationship from Deacon. But if it's a one way friendship where at least Deacon can dress, get better, and maybe Brooke had to look at him a little bit better in that way. If it helps Deacon, I'm for it. But I don't see how it will really help Taylor out in it. But you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, I won't say it is impossible. Anything is possible. We'll see what happens.
Well, it's kind of like this. One, this show has a chronic problem of people not actually having friends. Period. And it ain't just Taylor and Deacon. It's damn near everybody. And then you have the last people who had real friends was Quinn and Shauna, and we know where Shauna went.
And that's a shame because we all love that friendship.
Yes, we did. I really did love it. I mean, not many friends are gonna claim they slept with the man you slept with just to
That's
make sure
right.
you stay out of trouble. That's
A
some ride
true
or
ride or
die
die.
shit.
Yep.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, I do not count these. I do not count the Logan Coven meetups as friends. No, that's family and accomplices. Damn all that. They all stirring around the same cauldron. So no, I do not
Hmm.
count that as friendship. So no, so I don't have any issue. I'm still neutral as far as the romantic possibilities. I will say they do have good flirty chemistry. We don't know if the show is gonna fully make a decision to go in that direction because, unfortunately, Ridge and Brooke usually get what they want. But one thing I will say that I enjoyed very much about the chat that Krista and Sean had was that one of the parts I did catch was somebody asked the question, if you could pick the story that you wanted Taylor to have for the next month, what story would you pick? I loved Krista's answer. She said, okay, the story I would love for Taylor would be for Ridge to decide that he wants to be with her and for him to chase her down. Only for Taylor to turn around and say thanks, but no thank you.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from the beginning.
Exactly. And that is the story that if
Because I'm
Krista
tired
had
of him
her
thinking he got all the damn cards in his hands, mother. Yeah, I'm
exact
tired of that.
exactly. So if Taylor had her duthers and if Kristen had her duthers and could pick the story, that is the story she would pick for Taylor because she said, quote unquote, she's like, the character of Taylor does not get to do things like that. Because if this show has two prime directives, it is this. Brooke and Ridge leave people, but they are never usually the ones left unless it's by each other. The only person who's really ever been able to truly, truly dump Brooke is Ridge. And the only person who's ever really been able to truly, truly dump Ridge is Brooke. When it comes down to the other characters, they just don't get that luxury. Even when the people deserve to be broke, be dumped. Not in these days. Back in the day, yeah, Brooke was their men was quick to drop Brooke ass if she did if they found out that she was still mooning over Ridge. And let's be honest, who could blame them? Thorn. But you would never. But nowadays, it doesn't happen. They do not leave. People do not leave them. They leave people. So yes, I fully believe Ridge deserves to A, stay in Beverly Hills hell where he is, and B, if he decides that he doesn't want to be there no more, well, guess what? Go be wherever you want to be, but you ain't gonna be here with Taylor. Cause yeah, no, bye. Go ahead, you go back where you came from, or go wherever the hell you want. Cause no, I get tired of it because every time it's like that, whatever woman is involved with Ridge, it all degenerates into this terrible pick me behavior that makes me ill. Knowing damn well Ridge ain't even worth all that trouble to begin with. Mm-mm-mm.
Did y'all pick up on when Krista said Logan Logic today on the
That was
show?
hilarious. Yeah, that's Logan logic.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
It was funny.
Yes,
I wonder if it
yes,
was an ad
yes.
lib. Well,
Wash
mainly
your
because
hands.
it's true.
Go wash your hands. Okay.
Men who are involved with, or rather, and not just men. Brooke, how do I put this? Really, the romantic relationships on both the beautiful that involve Brooke or Ridge tend to be very traumatizing. They really are. Even
Yeah, I know they really do bore me to tears. So yeah, I have no interest in the escapades of those two. But I
that's why I'm fine with
definitely
them.
huh.
That's why I'm fine with them staying together forever.
Hmm. Yes,
I'm
child.
sorry. I'm sorry. I stepped away. You don't mind who getting together? What two?
No, we just don't care about what happens to Brooke and Ridge.
Oh, I concur. Moving on.
Yes, yes, exactly. So yeah, I just those were my highlights about the Deacon and Taylor scenes. Was that it was hella funny when Taylor was trying to exit him out, and he made himself comfortable and sat down. That was hella funny. And yeah, Deacon really was doing a lot, talking about he couldn't stop thinking about Taylor. I just was like, oh God, no, slow down, Deacon. Please slow down. Slow down, Debo.
The thing is, his showing up was actually, aside from the fact of it being a bit cute, the timing was actually extremely good. Partially because here's the thing. Taylor is in a very odd place right now because she has her worries, of course. She's worried about Steffi. She's worried about her potential to recover. Whatever the hell that doctor in Paris or wherever told her, it obviously was not good news. She's concerned about that. She's concerned about Sheila. And the thing is, like I said before, because this show does not let people have friends the way that they used to, she doesn't really have anybody she would probably want to really talk this over with. Because one thing, she's not calling Ridge to have this discussion about the things she's worried about. Ridge is like a no man's land right now. Yeah, she'll tell him important updates about Steffi because he's her father, but she's not going to try to have a conversation with him right now about her anxiety or her worries connected with what's going on with Steffi and how it's affecting her. She doesn't. He's not in a place to be that kind of a listener for her, and she doesn't want him to be. And I don't think she'd do it with Thomas either at this point because that's Steffi's brother. So Deacon actually showed up at almost exactly the right moment to have a conversation about what was going on with Taylor, which I thought was, good.
He gave her exactly what she needed, exactly when she needed it.
Child, he did not.
He gave her a ear to listen to when she needed somebody. Who else, like Darlene just said, who else is she gonna talk to? Who
She
else?
don't let
Well,
nobody have no friends on this show.
oh,
Who,
Taylor
who
needs a
else is listening
friend.
to her?
She does no seriously, Sam. Yes, Taylor does need a friend because here's the thing: Ridge is a
Well,
lot of things right
hey,
now, but it's not
everybody
her
on this
friend.
show need a friend because
They
ain't
do.
nobody on this show got a friend.
I will agree with you
Y'all
on
ain't got
that.
to give
Not like
somebody a friend and you fighting it.
I'm not fighting it. I'm not fighting it. I already said I'm fine with Taylor being Deacon's friend. I'm not really fine with it, but
See,
listen, I can't be nothing but damn true to myself. I had to turn right back around and
you
just be
see
like,
what
no,
I'm
that's
that's
saying?
why.
bullshit.
Why do you think everybody got quiet? I'm sitting here listening like, now Sarah knows she don't mean that shit.
I damn sure didn't. I had to come on back and just go ahead and stop lying. That was the truth. That was
I
truly
we have
bullshit.
been talking to you about this for I don't know how long to know better, ma'am.
I
She
mean,
Child.
was a turnip truck. She's y'all heard her right. I wasn't the only one. Okay. I just wanted to
no, I heard it. So, yeah, I thought it was funny. I was like, nah, it's Sam trying to convince us to herself because I know she don't mean that shit.
right. Like, what?
But that's the thing. Ridge is a lot of things, but he ain't nobody friend. I mean, okay, maybe he kind of sort of caught a friend. I don't really see it like that, but they say they friends, so I guess they friends. Whatever.
But how is she gonna go to Ridge and talk to Ridge about her frustration over going through what she just went through with Ridge again? She can't talk to him like you
No,
just gave all the reasons why she can't talk to the people who are already in her life. Deacon
Mhm.
being a sounding board for her is genius. We don't want Taylor out here suffering from lack of mental health herself. Her damn assistant ain't nowhere around. We know
I
she's
know this lady need she need a
Oh
whole new
yes,
assistant.
child. That assistant, honey.
we
Listen,
know
when
she's
Deacon
talking
came through the door and said the assistant wasn't there, that is another damn thing that made me laugh today. That goddamn assistant has never been there We met her one damn time, and she hasn't introduced the motherfucker since.
Girl, I've been mad at her for I don't know how long. What do you mean she wasn't there? What time is it that she is always gone on lunch? She's
Between the time
always.
with the 30 minutes bold and beautiful on at my house every day, between the 12 between 1:30 and 2.
Do you know if Allison was gone all the time like that, she never would have worked for Bill Spencer.
No. Hell to the no. Even when Cheryl Underwood was temping for Bill, she wouldn't have pulled that either.
Emmy, that was her name, Emmy.
Yep. I love Cheryl Underwood.
Me too.
Apparently, that assistant must be. I have to step away for a minute, but yeah, apparently that assistant must stay on break and lunches because we ain't seen her ass yet.
Yeah, yes, Hunty. We have not seen her yet. And Taylor is such a dear, sweet, kind soul that she's just going to suffer through with a non-appearing assistant. She ain't gonna fire her. She gonna keep paying her.
I just want to know what this heifer doing. What is you doing? What are you doing that you're not doing your? What is so important that you cannot sit? Are you a remote assistant? Is that what it is?
Must be. She's a virtual assistant.
Right, because girl, you ain't never where you need to be. It's a lunatic on the loose. So you supposed to be the first line of defense between your boss and the lunatic. Where is you at, girl? She said not being the first line of defense between my boss and the damn lunatic. They don't pay me enough. So she went to lunch and she ain't been back, but she's still catching them payroll checks.
She cashed them checks on time though. Yes, child. I tell you, but that was funny. I cannot lie. I do enjoy the Deacon and Taylor scenes. I would be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy the actors doing their job, because they are doing their job. They're doing a great job of it. If Deacon didn't have the history that he had, I would be with y'all. I would be with y'all on that. But I do enjoy the scenes. I mean, they were funny. They were hilarious, to be honest with you. I mean, Taylor giving us the Logan logic, the secretary not being there, Deacon taking a seat when Taylor wants him to leave. You know, the loser, the losar. It was all great. I mean, it was great TV stuff.
Now, Krista said on the live that she put stuff like that in because how she put it, she likes to be able to, she knows that there are people who love Taylor and she knows people who don't like Taylor. So she tries to put something in for the people that like Taylor, and she tried to put stuff in for the people who don't like Taylor. So she said she felt like saying Logan logic would kind of trigger something in both fan bases and both fan camps. I was like, that's her always looking out for everybody.
That's right. Just like when she's the one that keeps calling Taylor a saint. She keeps doing that because she knows that's a nod to us out here on social media land.
And it burns the Logan fans because they really, when they call Taylor a saint, it's always a dig.
As an insult.
It's always the insult. Oh, Saint Taylor's out here trying to get somebody's husband again. You know, so to me, I think it's funny that that she does that.
I love it.
And then she tells you, yeah, I do it. I did it last week. Did you see that clip? Yep, I was doing it. Like she's funny.
Loves it. And I think that's probably why her and Sean gonna really get along together, because he's kind of funny and comedic like that too. But I have to be honest with you. Sean's best chemistry so far has been with Kimberly Brown.
Yes.
I mean, those two on screen. I mean, you know, y'all know how I just don't like Deacon, but I always loved him and Sheila scenes. I mean, I was even at the point where, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Deacon and Sheila together, even if I don't think they romantic and sexual, but they would be a damn hoot to be called themselves in a relationship. Because those two have amazing on-screen chemistry, and it's sexual and professional. It goes both ways to me. I think they work incredibly well together. So whatever is coming up, I hope we get, you know, I really do hope Sheila gets to go around LA and try to get even with everybody that she got an ex to ride with. So when she's done with Steffi and Finn, I want her to finish, you know, I want her to go around and try to get everybody. Donna, Eric, Quinn, Brooke, Ridge, everybody except for the Finnegans and Steffi.
Well, she's already spent a whole season with them.
Exactly. You
She
got it. So
them,
she needs to leave them. She needs to leave those Foresters alone.
yeah, she needs to leave them alone until Hayes gets to high school.
Right. Or it don't even have to be high school. Hayes could be, in like a daycare or whatever, and she could pop up somewhere at the playground watching Hayes.
Well,
That would be incredible.
Here's the thing. I
And
feel.
could you imagine Kimberly Brown with silver hair, that just very long silver hair as an old ass villain? I fucking love it.
Like Carl Hutchins' girl.
I don't know who they are. But
Oh my God. Why can't I think of his real name right there? Somebody in the comments probably know who I'm talking about when I say Carl Hutchins from Another World. Where is Darling?
Oh, I'm back.
Where is our research director? Oh, that's me. I'm sorry.
Wait, who did you say? Carl Hutchinson?
Yes, Carl Hutchins on Another World. I'm gonna show y'all his picture.
Let's see.
Carl Keaton
Oh wait, I know who that is.
was the shit. Let me tell you. I'm fixing to share this screen, and then sometime when you get some time, Sam, and you want to watch some real good old school soap opera, get yourself on the YouTube. Oh, this is a good episode too, honey. This is Carl's redemption. Girl, chat. This is Carl Hutchins right here with the silver hair.
oh,
Girl, that man was fine for many, many moons. So Rachel, this is Rachel. So they kind of was like the Marlena and the Stefano of Another World. Carl terrorized the hell out of Rachel and her family and her husband Mac. Then Mac died, and Carl was still terrorizing them. And then one day he decided that he was in love with Rachel. He set out to get him some Rachel, and the family was like, "I know the hell you ain't fixing to sit up in here and be all booed up with Daddy's nemesis. What you trying to do?" And she was like, "Well, he's changed, and he's got a son now, and Carl did change. Like that man went from being like a Victor Newman to being a damn Tom Horton. Like he turned on a dime for Rachel, girl. But then he still had that kind of. He was kind of like Sonny Corinthos. He became a good guy, but you still didn't want to fuck with him because he still had his Rolodex with all them people's names in it. And if you wanted to have something dealt with, all he would do is pick up that Rolodex and have you dealt with. Man, now I can see Sheila being a Carl Hutchins, but crazy because, oh no, Roger Stanback was a silver daddy too. Amaya, I will fight you.
Seven twins and 70.
Now, we're not going to talk about Rachel 3,000 years old and twins. We're not going to sit here and age shame women for being.
It wasn't just another time. It was another world. It was a different decade.
Girl, right? It was like, okay, they done the baby in the tree. Ooh, see, we fixing to fight for real. Well, they really, we fixing to fight for real because you just sat here and stirred up some memories. I can't even be mad at you, girl. But we gonna fight for real.
No, y'all about to sit here and fight about a show that got canceled before the end of the century.
You better, I love you too, darling. I ain't scared of you.
Hey, I'm gonna just sit back and watch the twins go. I'm gonna just laugh. Okay, so no, they apparently Amaya and Bubbles on different ends of the spectrum when it comes down to the old soap Another World that ended like in the late 90s. But Another World really was a good soap in its time. But they was getting a little outlandish some places, and there's differences of opinion. Because Another World was one of Irma Phillips and Bill Bell's soaps before.
Wait a minute. Is that came on after As the World Turns, didn't it?
It was on NBC.
on NBC.
Did it come on after As the World Turns?
No, not
Wasn't Another World on at wasn't Another World? Didn't it used to come on at 1?
Oh, wait a minute. It must have been
As
As
the
the World
World
Turns and
Turns.
Guiding Light. Did those two come
Oh
on back to
no.
back?
No, it was later because it was like because I'm trying to remember. Was it where like
we were watching
I think it was the last one.
Wrestlers. So it was the last one that came on until Santa Barbara. And then Santa Barbara was the last one to come on. And then Santa Barbara got canceled. And then Another World got canceled. And then we got Sunset Beach, and then Sunset Beach got canceled. And then
I
we
don't
got
think I must have watched that. Yeah, I must have watched that because I don't know none of them show names.
yeah.
But yeah. So we got 45 minutes. Is we going into any General Hospital?
I
We
missed
got
it
45
today, but
minutes.
Esme was trending. So I need somebody to tell me why Esme was trending today. I know that she's still dangling that affair in Nicholas's face. His dumb ass said he gonna go and talk to the hospital board, see if he can override Kevin Collins and get her internship back, so she got access to Ryan Chamberlain again. Also, they did a race today on GH. So Trina's trial must have kicked off.
I think so. I didn't see it,
Kick
but
off
based on
yet?
the hashtag, it did.
They're on their way there. But it finally was addressed today that Esme was not only, she didn't only pick on Trina because of Spencer. She picked on Trina because Trina was a black girl. And it was finally addressed. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, you got to go back and you got to watch Portia and Curtis's auntie.
Girl, Portia been
I
putting
was
it
in
out
tears.
since she was Whitney on Passions.
I
People
didn't
used to throw stones at Passions, but Passions has put out solid actors.
Actors, yes, it has.
Solid actors. So they need to give them their flowers, honey.
It made me feel so good to be able, like my nieces watch it. And when it first happened, they were like, damn, why it only gotta happen to us? Why they gotta do it to the black girl? Like, this is messed up. And
Well,
it
that's
was
what
finally addressed today. And my niece turned around and looked at me and said, well, it was about time. So it was really good if you didn't see it.
So
You're
I
not
can't
the
see that. I can't. So I'm actually backed up probably on 2 episodes of GH. I'm gonna probably get down on those tonight after my son get home from work. What time is it, y'all? Oh, okay.
It is 8:40.
like almost 10 minutes too.
Yeah, I don't know what time he get off tonight, but yeah, I'm gonna make plans for that. I'm probably gonna have him go and get me some popcorn or whatever.
Now, what I will bring up if anybody wants to talk about it is how I'm about Young and the Restless is just they working my last nerve now.
I don't even watch Young and the Restless, but
You're making the right choice, Sam. Believe that.
I gave up on it, and I
Which
listened to y'all
story
talk
you
about
gotta
it because I'd
go?
be interested in wondering how it go, but yeah, I gave up on that.
I am still holding out for this man to lose his shit and turn these people upside down, but it don't look like it's ever gonna happen. And they
He's going to jail on Monday.
Talking about Ashland. I mean, this is what I don't understand is why does R&R think anybody give a shit about Ashland? I mean, Y&R is like a 60-year-old soap opera. A brand new character like that, people really don't care about. Yes, we do want to see new stories and new people and fresh faces and stuff, but it seemed like they just putting too much emotion on Ashland.
Not to mention the fact that I'm sorry, but the word podcast needs to be banned, right along with reliquary and a couple of other terms that have been exiled because of BS Y&R has done. This podcast shit, I'm sorry, I have to agree with with Tuba TV said. He said if I did not give a shit about a podcast with Billy, why would I care about a podcast with Billy and Chelsea?
Right. Why is they trying to still make Chelsea interesting at all? I mean, I was when I stopped watching Y&R right after I stopped watching, I saw that Chelsea was coming back to Genoa City, and I was just like, I'm glad I got the hell out of that, because I don't even understand why even bring her back. She's not like even a legacy like that. I mean, yeah, she has a kid with Adam, but other than that,
And that's kind of the problem, is that when she's not with Adam, they don't know what to do with her anymore. I
Yeah.
mean,
that
'cause
means that the character's trash.
and the thing is, her original character was not brought on the show to be with Adam Newman. That's just what ended up happening. But it's like that's their religious fallback for her. So now they don't know what to do with her if she's not with Adam. And Adam's with Sally, which I actually do like. But now you just have Chelsea in this middle space where first they had her having a thing for Ray. Then they didn't kill Ray off the cuff. Then they had her flirting just this little bit with Kyle. And now it looks like they didn't threw her ass over the
Well, the
building. It's like,
problem was they messed up by bringing her back to begin with. So they brought Adam back. So that was the reason why they brought
mhm.
Chelsea back. Simply the reason why they brought her back is because they brought Adam back. But they brought Adam back. Mark Grossman had more chemistry with Sharon Case, clearly. Chelsea's the actress that plays Chelsea. She had great chemistry with what was his name, Justin. Um,
Just
Justin
yeah,
Hart.
Justin Hartley. She had great
another
chemistry
passion
with Justin
bitch.
Justin Hartley's uh, Adam. So I could see. So that worked. That worked for the viewer. That really did. But bringing her back after Mark Grossman was cast was a big flop, in my mistake.
Not if they wasn't going to keep the parent together. And the thing is, it's like this.
But the pairing
One,
looks like trash together compared to Mark
no,
Grossman and other actresses.
yeah, because and that's the thing. Mark Grossman has had great chemistry with Sharon Case, and he has good chemistry with Courtney Hope. So there's options for the character. But Chelsea is
And
just that
Adam
they
is
couldn't.
is pretty much a legacy. I mean, Adam is not no retcon. He was actually born on the soap.
Exactly. So it's like they could, but they didn't have a functional backup plan of what to do with her. So she's just been in limbo ever since. Well, when she came back, then she went on her maternity because she had this cute little baby. But and then when she came back, I figured, well, hold on, the lady been on maternity leave for months. So in those months, y'all should have figured out what you wanted to do with her character. Only, of course, the answer is, oh, we ain't figured out a damn thing. We don't know. We just gonna bring her back and sort it out. And they ain't sorted out yet. So and then they have all, and then also this is the other thing. I hate to say somebody said it, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with them. I hate to say it, but I need them to stop with Naya now. If they're not gonna let anything that's happening with Naya play out on screen, I don't want to hear about it.
Thank you. I am so sick of hearing that this woman is in critical condition every other week, and we getting clip notes, secondhand details from her daughters instead of them just freaking sitting there and showing it to us so that we can see it ourselves.
It sounds like some bullshit to me. I
Honey,
mean,
It
why? I mean, Tasha
bullshit.
Story was nominated for an Emmy. Why the fuck she ain't playing on the stove on the soap?
That
is
like
exactly.
of her stuff. Not just her. This goes all the way back to earlier this year, late last year, when made this big hoo-ha over bringing in the man to play Sutton, her grandfather.
Right.
This whole lead up about trying to find out who killed her daddy, Victor's involved, all of this stuff.
Mhm.
We figured out it's her granddaddy. He's got to go to court, and we didn't see any of that. We
None.
heard about it. She would come home from the trial every day to talk to the bun. Oh, I'm so tired. Today at trial, Granddaddy said this. But then Michael countered with that. But then Granddaddy's lawyer said this. But then I got on the stand. And then we saw her on the stand in the flashback.
And black and damn white.
It looked like somebody set up a damn ring light on a tripod, put her in a corner with a desk in front of her, and Michael standing up to the front of the desk talking. There wasn't no judge, wasn't no jury. It didn't look like no. You know how Sonny them was in a courtroom, and we was in the courtroom on GH with all this shit with Nina and Sonny. We was in a courtroom. People was sitting on the stand next to a judge being sworn in with a bailiff and all that shit. We didn't get none of that on The Young and the Restless. We got her sitting in the corner the way my printer is sitting in this corner.
But they got all this time and oxygen to have Billy on screen talking about a podcast.
Talking about goddamn
podcast that we don't, that nobody gives a shit about, because I'm sorry, whether he's anonymous as the Grinning Soul or whether it's the Billy podcast, I don't give a damn about what Billy has to say. And then this new idea that apparently him and Chelsea are gonna sit up there and talk about their life experiences, a gambler and a con artist. No, bruh. If y'all wanted to do a podcast, if they really insisted on pushing that narrative, do a true crime podcast called The Crimes of Genoa City and start talking about some of these crimes that went down in this ragged ass city, because you can interview half your families about the stuff that went down. Do that if you have
City
to.
Sound boring as hell.
If a girl, you ain't never lied. Because right now I'm just like, if I was not waiting for somebody to smack Victoria and Victor in their face, I wouldn't bother right now. That's the only thing I'm holding on for.
Is anybody watching Days?
I'm trying to get into. I want to try to go and watch Days Beyond Salem.
Yeah, Salem.
Yeah, because I've seen the clips and I'm excited about it. So I want to
go and hope, girl. It's going to be excited about.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Maybe I'll put that on my list for tomorrow. And General Hospital should be for tonight.
All I know about today's Days was that Sammy threw her hands up and said, "You know what, EJ and Lucas, you both ain't shit. I'm not fooling with neither one of y'all."
Well, is this it? Is Sammy gone? Is Allison Sweeney out?
Yeah. I think she's finished her sojourn for right now. But you know they always bring her back.
Well, and I don't know if they bring her back.
Of course they do. They've been bringing. Allison Sweeney hasn't been on Days as a full 100% time. She was the first person who got that sweetheart deal where she could come and go as she wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can expect to see badass Sammy back, which I'm always down for it. I'm always for the bad bitches. So yeah, I'm here for it.
And Sammy brings a lot to the show because Days actually handles legacy characters how they should handle them.
That's right.
So
they do.
Yeah. So they actually handle their legacy characters appropriately. Not most of the time. There are a few exceptions, but most of the time they try to do justice by them. So she'll be going for a while, but she'll probably be back in, I wouldn't even say probably 3 months.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I haven't been watching Days, and I tuned into it today because I took the day off today, and so I literally tuned into it and said I'm gonna watch Days. And the first damn people I saw was Chloe and Brady, and I turned that fucker right back. They will not. I will not be watching that bullshit at all. It's just like Days does such a great job with everything. That's the only thing that'll make me turn my channel and not even care about what else going on.
It's because Days' problem is this: they will shit on certain couples to push other couples, and it breeds a lot of resentment. And yes, somebody, that's exactly what happened. EJ was back there begging for Sammy to take his ass back, with Belle stank all over him. Like, dude, you could have went took a shower first. You and
Belle had sex
a couple of times.
Oh, and then he was trying to ask Sammy back? Why?
Yes, that's why Sammy and Lucas's wedding blew up. Because Chad came running in there and revealed that Lucas was the one who actually kidnapped Sammy and then blamed it on EJ. Though I have to agree with what Lucas said. Oh, please, if you could have did it to me first, you would have. Maybe, which is true. If EJ could have kidnapped Sammy and blamed it on Lucas, he totally would have done that.
No, Lucas ain't lying neither.
You're not lying. So
that's EJ.
Yeah, so of course that completely blew up their wedding. Then Belle caught herself trying to be damn magnanimous or whatever the hell you call it, saying that whatever her and EJ had was whatever, but she was stepping back. First of all, no, that's not what happened. She stepped back because she knew her ass was about to be shown the door. Because if Sammy Brady was back on the market again, EJ was back in the hunt, and it was Belle who. Now, I do need to go back and watch it because apparently Sean read her ass for filth over that.
I just don't like Sammy with EJ.
I'm a Lumi fan, so I agree with you.
I am 100% a Lumi fan because I have been there since day one. I was there when that boy came home from military school.
It was sleeping with Cherish.
And that was
that concert.
I ain't never wanted Sammy with nobody else, not even Austin. I wanted Austin to get hit by a bus. If you can't go and get with Carrie and stay with Carrie, then you got to die. Because you coming between Samantha Jean and Lucas.
Sir.
I don't need you on the set at all, sir. You gotta go away now. Like you gotta go away now. Austin was okay, but I never wanted him with Sammy.
I have been a Sammy Lucas fan since Sammy realized that Lucas was the guy who was sleeping with Cherish and backstage at the concert. Ever since then. Well, that was Austin was working the door and she wanted to go backstage to this superstar Cherish's concert. She did, and she realized when she went to her dressing room that she was up in there with this really hot half-naked guy, and she was like, "Oh my God," because this is when Sammy was still a teenager. And then later she gets introduced to a guy by Kate Roberts, and she introduces her to her son, and she realizes the son who's home from military school, that's who Cherish was banging backstage at the concert. This was like in the early 90s. I was like, oh yeah, we got a couple. I don't even know where this is going, but we got something right here.
Right.
So yes, I'm very salty over what they did for nothing. They did not have to do Lumi like that.
Okay, the salt is real.
Is that the theme music?
It's like Utah. It's like Utah rock salt. Yes, it is salty because they didn't have to crap over Lumi just to create drama so that E-Jammy could be a thing later. Just like they didn't have to piss all over Philip just to put Chloe and Brady together. So unnecessary.
Yeah, and Philip, I tell you, I just don't even understand how Brian, which I appreciate, could do anything like that to that Philip. Philip is so goddamn charming, and I'm not easy, but Philip literally won me over as a character. That actor that plays him is magnificent, and I can't wait to see Philip again.
Hopefully they figure out some way the thing is they break things, but they tend to figure out some way to fix it eventually. I don't know how they're gonna fix this mess with Philip. I don't care if Chloe and Brady stay together. They can break up tomorrow because I hate them when they're together. And honestly, they need to fix Lucas and Sammy too, because it's like this. If Sammy could almost get the lethal injection and die because Lucas was keeping his mouth shut about killing Franco, and they could forgive all that, they could forgive this other bullshit too. We just gotta ride it out.
Ride it out.
Well, all right, you guys. We will do this again on Monday. Tomorrow is Saturday. And, we ain't gonna be here unless we're not. So, but
good night, y'all.
Being out here. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend. See
Have a
some
good
of y'all
weekend.
tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.